Welcome back to the channel Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today we are going to talk about one of the most fascinating coins from modern U.S. history, the 1978 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint, also known as the 1978 D. Lincoln cent. This coin might look like just another ordinary penny, but some examples are worth far more than their face value and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. At auction, let us start with the basics. The 1978 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why you will see the small letter D located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. Abraham Lincoln still appears on the front, of course, a design that has been used since 1909, created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the 1978 penny shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th birthday of President Lincoln in 1978. The Denver Mint produced an enormous number of these coins, over 4 billion in total. That means most of these pennies are extremely common in circulated grades, and you might still find them in pocket change today. However, what makes some 1978 D pennies valuable are specific factors such as condition, rarity of high-grade, survival, and error varieties. Condition is the number one factor for determining the value of any coin. When we talk about condition, we use the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from poor all the way to mint state and proof-like. For the 1978 D penny, most circulated examples are worth only their face value, but when you get into high mint state grades, the value starts to climb dramatically. For example, an MS-65 red certified 1978 D penny can sell for between $10 and $20. An MS-66 red might reach between $50 and $100, and at the very top, an MS-67 red example, which is extremely hard to find in flawless condition, has sold for over $1,000 at auction. Now let us talk about error coins, because this is where things get even more exciting. Errors happen during the minting process, and collectors love them because they are unique. Some of the most desirable 1978 D penny errors include off-center strikes, double die, obverse repunched mint marks, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet. If you come across a 1978 D penny with a clear double die error, you might have a coin worth hundreds of dollars, depending on how strong the doubling appears. Repunched mint marks, where the letter D appears doubled or slightly shifted, are also collectible and can sell anywhere from $20 to over $100. Off-center strikes can vary widely in value depending on how far the design is off-center, but a dramatic off-center strike with a visible date can be worth well over $200. Another very rare but valuable error is when a coin is struck on the wrong planchet. For instance, if a 1978 D cent was accidentally struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin planchet, these mistakes can bring in big money, with prices ranging from several $100s all the way up to several thousand, depending on the rarity of the error. So what is the current market value of the 1978 D penny today? For a regular circulated coin without any errors, it is still just 1 cent, but if you have an uncirculated red example in a high mint state, you are looking at anywhere between $10 and over $1,000, and if you are lucky enough to find a major error variety, the sky is the limit. Recent auctions have proven that collectors are still willing to pay strong premiums for these coins. This means it is always worth checking your pocket change and coin rolls carefully, because you never know when you might come across a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. The 1978 D penny may not be the oldest coin in your collection, but under the right circumstances it could be one of the most profitable. Before we wrap things up, here is a quick recap. The 1978 D penny is common in circulation but rare in high mint state grades, especially above MS-66. Some coins with errors like double dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Always look carefully at the date, the mint mark, and the condition of the coin, because those details can make the difference between a regular penny and a small fortune. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in United States coinage history, the 1981 cent coin with no mint mark, and why this particular coin can be worth far more than just a penny. Now, to begin, we need to understand how mint marks work and why their absence on certain coins can make them so interesting. In the world of numismatics, a mint mark is simply a small letter placed on a coin that tells us where it was struck. For example, coins made in Denver carry a small D mint mark. Coins struck in San Francisco may carry an S, and coins made in Philadelphia often carry no mint mark at all. Until the year 1980, many coins from Philadelphia carried no identifying letter whatsoever, but starting in that year, the Philadelphia Mint began placing a tiny P mint mark on most denominations except for the cent, which continued to be struck without a mint mark. This creates some confusion among new collectors, because technically every 1980 penny struck in Philadelphia was made without a mint mark, and this is completely normal. However, there is more to the story. Certain coins from this era can be worth significant money not just because of the lack of a mint mark but because of other factors such as condition, rarity and errors. The 1981 cent coin was made from a copper alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams and features the classic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse. This was the last full decade before the switch to the modern copper-plated zinc planchets in 1982, which makes these older heavy copper cents more desirable, especially to those who love the history of American coinage. Now you might be asking yourself, if all 1980 Philadelphia cents are supposed to have no mint mark, then what makes some of them worth so much money? The answer lies in two main things: condition and striking errors. Let's first talk about condition. In the world of coin grading, condition is everything. A coin fresh from the mint with no scratches and a brilliant red copper surface is given the highest grades by professional grading services. Coins graded MS67 and above are rare for this year because most pennies entered circulation quickly and developed spots, toning or scratches. A regular 1980 Philadelphia 1-cent coin in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value, but when you find one in pristine mint state condition, it can be worth several dollars, sometimes $10, $20 or even more in higher grades. The top population coins, those few examples that have been graded MS67 red or higher, can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. But here is where it gets even more exciting: error coins. Error coins are minting mistakes that slipped past quality control and made it into circulation. Examples include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and even wrong planchet strikes. Imagine a 1980 penny struck on a dime planchet, or one struck way off-center with half the design missing. Such coins are highly collectible and can bring anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s depending on how dramatic the error is. One famous variety collectors search for is the double die obverse, where parts of the lettering "In Liberty" or "In God We Trust" show signs of doubling. Although not as famous as the 1955 or 1969 double dies, there are still valuable examples of 1980 cents with doubling that can reach into the hundreds of dollars if authenticated. Let's talk about the market value right now. As of the current year, collectors are paying strong prices for high-grade copper Lincoln cents. A regular 1980 no mint mark penny in average circulated condition is only worth 1 cent to maybe 5 cents if it has good eye appeal, but in uncirculated grades you are looking at $1 to $5 in MS65 condition, $10 to $20 in MS66 condition, and upwards of $100 to $200 in MS67 condition, with some examples even topping that. At major coin auctions for error coins, the values vary dramatically. An off-center 1980 penny with about 50% of the design missing but with the date fully visible can bring $50 to $150 more. Dramatic errors such as broad strikes or double strikes can sell for several $100s, and the rare wrong planchet strikes where the coin was accidentally struck on a nickel or dime blank can fetch over $1,000. The key takeaway here is that not every 1980 penny without a mint mark is valuable, because by design all Philadelphia cents from that year have no mint mark. However, the condition of the coin, its grade, its color, whether red, brown or brown, and any unique mint errors all play a huge role in determining its true market value. Collectors love high-end copper coins, and the 1980 no mint mark penny is no exception. So next time you're going through your change, pay close attention to those older copper cents from the late 70s and early 80s. You never know when you might come across a stunning uncirculated example or even a rare mint error that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today we are going to talk about one of the most interesting modern Lincoln cents that has fascinated collectors for decades, and that is the 1994 1-cent coin with no mint mark that has shocked many people with its value in today's coin market. Most people know that a penny is worth only 1 cent and millions of them are sitting in drawers and piggy banks, but the truth is some of these ordinary-looking coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if they have certain errors or rare characteristics. The 1994 no mint mark penny is one such coin that has attracted huge attention because of its unique qualities and rarity. Now let's start with the basics. In 1994, the United States Mint struck billions of Lincoln cents at two major facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The coins struck at the Denver Mint carry a small d mint mark just below the date, while coins struck in Philadelphia typically do not have a mint mark at all. This is where things get a little confusing. Technically, a 1994 cent without a mint mark is a Philadelphia issue, and that is perfectly normal. But within the coin collecting community, when we talk about a no mint mark cent, we are not just talking about a Philadelphia coin. We are usually referring to a coin that should have had a mint mark but is missing it due to a minting error. For example, there are famous no-mint mark coins like the 1982 dime without a mint mark or the 1990 no-S proof Lincoln cent, which are valuable because the mint accidentally left off the mint mark when it was supposed to be there. So in the case of 1994 cents, we need to be very careful about what we are looking at. If you have a regular 1994 penny without a mint mark, that is a Philadelphia coin, and it is generally worth face value unless it is in pristine uncirculated condition or has some type of striking error. But if you happen to come across a 1994 cent that shows characteristics of a missing mint mark error, such as a coin that was supposed to have a D mint mark or an S mint mark but does not, then you are holding a true rarity. Collectors place very high value on such error coins because they are not supposed to exist. A true missing mint mark coin from 1994 could be worth hundreds and in some cases even thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and the demand among collectors. Now let us take a closer look at what determines the value. The first factor is the grade or condition of the coin. Coins that have been preserved in mint state with sharp details, bright luster, and no signs of wear can fetch a much higher price than a circulated example. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC play an important role here because a coin that is certified as mint state 65 or higher can sell for a premium. The second factor is rarity. If only a handful of 1994 no mint mark errors are known, then collectors will bid aggressively to add one to their collection. On the other hand, if more examples turn up in the future, the price might stabilize. Right now, however, these coins are considered extremely scarce and therefore very valuable. The third factor is demand. Lincoln cents are one of the most popular series among American coin collectors. With so many people collecting them by date and mint mark, any unusual variety or error creates huge excitement. That is why even a small difference like a missing mint mark can translate into big money in the coin market. So what is the current market value of a 1994 1 cent with no mint mark error today? Based on recent sales and auction records, examples of this coin in high mint state condition can bring anywhere from $500 to over $2,000 depending on the specific error and the grade. In lower grades they can still be worth a couple of $100s, which is a huge jump from their face value of just 1 cent. To give you an idea, in some auctions rare mint error pennies have even sold for more than $10,000 when two or more determined bidders wanted the same coin. While not every 1994 cent will reach those numbers, the fact that such prices are possible shows how much demand there is in the hobby. It is also important to mention that many people confuse ordinary 1994 Philadelphia cents with a true no mint mark error. Remember, if you simply have a penny dated 1994 with no mint mark, that is normal and most likely worth face value unless it is uncirculated, and then maybe $1 or $2 at most. The valuable ones are those rare error coins where a mint mark was supposed to be there but somehow got left off during production. If you are searching through your change or coin rolls, here are some tips. Always check the date and the area below the date carefully. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe if needed. If you see signs that a mint mark was missing, or if you think you have found a rare variety, consider sending the coin to a professional grading service for authentication. Having your coin certified is the best way to know exactly what you have, and it will also make it easier to sell if you decide to put it on the market. To wrap things up, the 1994 1 cent no mint mark coin is a fascinating topic because it combines the ordinary with the extraordinary. Most pennies from that year are common and spendable, but a few rare errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. With coin collecting continuing to grow in popularity, these rarities will always capture the imagination of collectors and investors alike. So the next time you see a 1994 penny in your pocket, do not dismiss it as just another cent. Take a moment to look closely, because who knows, you might just be holding a tiny piece of numismatic treasure. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in modern American history, the 1979 1 cent coin with no mint mark. This is a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but collectors know there is a lot more to it than meets the eye. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back, and let us break it all down. First, let's set the scene. The year is 1979. Jimmy Carter is president. Disco is still blasting on the radio, and the U.S. Mint is striking billions of Lincoln cents like it had been doing For decades the Lincoln cent of this time period still carried the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced back in 1909. On the reverse the coin shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now most 1979 cents were struck either in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Philadelphia coins, as usual, did not carry a mint mark, so when you see a 1979 cent with no mark under the date, that means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And here's where the story gets interesting, because although Philadelphia minted hundreds of millions of these coins, not all 1979 Philadelphia cents are the same. Collectors have discovered that some of these coins show strong strikes, clean surfaces, and even proof-like characteristics, and when they survive in extremely high mint state grades they can be worth far more than just a penny in your pocket. This is where grading becomes critical, because the market today values sharp, crisp examples at a premium. So what should you look for? The first thing is the absence of a mint mark under the date. If you see nothing there, it means Philadelphia, but the value really comes down to condition. An average circulated coin from your change is basically still worth 1 cent, maybe a few cents to a beginning collector, but when you find an uncirculated example with blazing red color, minimal contact marks, and strong luster, then you have something special. Now let's talk numbers, because I know that's what everyone wants to hear. In lower circulated grades these coins generally sell for 1 cent to 10 cents. In nice uncirculated condition, say MS63 red examples, you might be looking at $1 to $5, and in even higher grades like MS65 red prices climb to the $15 to $25 range. Coins graded MS66 red by major services like PCGS or NGC can sell for $50 to over $100, and if you manage to find the very top pop examples in MS67 red or higher, you are talking about auction prices that can reach into the hundreds and even close to $1,000 depending on eye appeal and current demand. It does not stop there though, because error coins and varieties from 1979 can be even more lucrative. For example, some coins show double dies where the lettering or numbers look doubled under magnification. Those pieces can sell for significantly more than regular strikes, sometimes several $100 if the doubling is dramatic and certified by a grading service. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other striking errors from 1979 with no mint mark can also bring in strong premiums. Another factor driving the value is that more and more collectors are building registry sets online, which means they are competing to own the highest graded examples of every year and every mint. That competition pushes prices upward for top quality coins. So even though a 1979 cent without a mint mark might seem common in your pocket change, the finest examples are anything but common. As of the current coin market today in 2025, prices remain steady, with high-grade examples continuing to command strong bids at major auctions. Recently, MS67 red examples have sold in the range of $400 to $600, and coins with special eye appeal have sometimes broken past $700. This shows that there is strong collector interest in late 70s and early 80s Lincoln cents, a series many people once overlooked but which is gaining more respect year after year. So the bottom line is this: check your change jars, your old coin rolls, your childhood piggy banks, because you never know when you might come across a 1979 Lincoln cent with no mint mark that is in pristine condition and worth far more than face value. Remember, it all depends on condition, grading, and sometimes variety hunting. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1979 1 cent no mint mark coin, a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc history that proves even the most ordinary-looking penny can be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting insights, and leave a comment letting us know if you have ever found a valuable coin from your pocket change. Who knows, your story might end up in our next video. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.